to Hope Adventist News. I am Nana Chumberryman, bringing you updates of stories happening in our communities and beyond, right from the studios of Hope Channel Ghana, Julius Nyerere Street, Osu, Accra. Now, our headlines for this week: Miss Central Ghana Conference celebrates 10 years of God's grace and mission impact. Awoshi Seventh-day Adventist Church marks 30 years of God's faithfulness and soul-winning commitment. In our featured story, the most remote missionaries. There's another stories will be coming your way right after the break. Welcome back from the break. This is Hope Adventist News and is brought to you by Angels of Hope Club. Now to our very first story: the Miss Central Ghana Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church under the Mid-Ghana Union Conference joyfully celebrated its 10th anniversary on October 4, 2025 at the Whim Roman Catholic School Park in Kumasi. The theme is celebrating a decade of God's grace and faithfulness in mission. The event gathered church leaders and also government officials and members from across the conference to thank God for a decade of spiritual growth, mission advancement, and also community service. Distinguished guests included Pastor Dr. Kwame Boache, Ministerial Secretary, Family and Prayer Ministries Director, West Central African Division; Pastor Mark Tiu Agubediakon, former Executive Secretary of General Conference; Pastor Dr. Alexander Ejapon, the Executive Secretary, Mid-Ghana Union Conference; Pastor Daniel Chibafo Jr., President, Mid-Central Ghana Conference; Pastor Fred Opoku Ajiman, Executive Secretary, Miss Central Ghana Conference; Elder Samuel Kutin, Treasurer, Miss Central Ghana Conference; and government dignitaries, including Honorable Emmanuel Kojo Ajikun, Minister for Government Special Initiative. Delivering the sermon titled "Hold On Fast Till I Come," Pastor Dr. Kwame Boache urged members to remain faithful to Christ despite the moral and spiritual challenges of the present age. He cautioned against immorality, materialistic and compliances, encouraging members to stay true to the Adventist message of holiness, hope in Christ's soon return.
Adventist Church, any young lady, no one was so winning. Jinetum said, on the party. Jinetum said, 1 minute was said, the Suban so sell in Sasso, and Siran Canadinda. On the boy, the Atoshum Yemua, what is he from my answer? Was it Opo Nipa, and the Suban so sell in Sasso? I created man in my own image, Jesus Christ. On the bomb in the war, and then he paid out today. I want Tanta. Say, if you are Yamimu, now be Yamese. On the ball war, on the ball war, on the ball war, you have been created in the image of God. What Paul said in Shuban Susan and Session.
In an interview with Hope Adventist News, Pastor Dr. Boache treated the importance of standing firm in the faith, adding that the true measure of success in ministry is steadfastness in the face of trials.
Revelation chapter 2 and verse 25. Hold fast what you have till I come. Seventh-day Adventist Church has been entrusted heritage from God, biblical truth, and then God wants us to hold it fast what we have till He comes. As we go through Genesis chapter 1 and 2, God has enlisted His original plan for humanity, helping us to encourage each and everyone to participate in the proclamation of those things.
Conference President Pastor Daniel Chibafo also outlined strategies planned for the next decade, focusing on expanding evangelism, strengthening department activities, and also improving infrastructure to support mission growth.
We are celebrating a decade of God's faithfulness and grace. The next 10 years, the conference, church pastor, not bigger churches, at least 2, 3, 4 pastors. Now in the mission house with the major focus on evangelism and mission. Into the areas who say unentered, you say enter already in some for the next 10 years.
Honorable Emmanuel Kojo Ajikum, representing the government, commended the Seventh-day Adventist Church for its positive impact on youth development, education, and health. He encouraged the church to continue empowering its members economically whilst nurturing moral and spiritual values.
Sector, we've made a lot of impact, and what I want the church, and this is my recommendation to the church, we should try and create wealth in the church. Creating wealth in the church will help the church in so many ways. That is what I want. There has to be a conscious effort to create wealth in this church. That's what I want. Well, I'm not saying school is very important. Now, the person in businesses, they should make sure that they are trying to target a business that will help the church.
The conference climaxed with presentation of citation to individuals and institutions who have contributed immensely to the growth of the conference. The honors were presented by Honorable Onine Champon Akusi Jemfi and Honorable Patricia Pearl Ankara. The joyful event also featured music, testimonies, and a fundraising segment to support ongoing projects of the conference, symbolizing unity, gratitude, and renewed commitment to mission. A report by Nana Kwabnaji Sidakwa, Kumasi. Still in the celebration mood, the Awoshi Seventh-day Adventist Church in Accra marked its 30th anniversary celebration that is celebrating 3 decades of divine grace, unwavering faith, and also active evangelism under the theme Celebrating Our Faithful Journey. The anniversary, which brought together members, past leaders, and also guests, was not only a time of reflection but also a renewal to mission and also discipleship. Speaking to Hope Adventist News, Pastor Robert Ahia, head pastor of the Awoshi Seventh-day Adventist Church, expressed a heartfelt gratitude to God for his sustaining grace throughout the church's 30-year journey. He emphasized that the theme captured both gratitude for God's providence and a challenge to continue pressing forward in the church's gospel mission.
It's been a great privilege to be part of this 30th anniversary celebration. Considering what we will use as a theme, a lot through went our mind. But then we said that the Lord has been faithful to us throughout the journey of 30 years. And then not only to this year, but also we look at the journey ahead of us. That indeed, we still have a lot of journey ahead, the journey to heaven. So when we look at how the Israel nation traveled all the way from Egypt through the wilderness to Canaan, they went through a lot of trials, temptations. They went through a lot of difficulties. We cast our mind through the 30 years. We also see that the church has gone through a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges. The rain has beat us. The sun has shined on us. It has been very difficult during Sabbath hours when there is no building. But when we look back what the Lord has done for us, and when we look at currently what the Lord has done for us, indeed, there is nothing we have to do but to celebrate his faithfulness. This is what we were looking at when we were selecting our team, saying that celebrating our faithful journey.
Joining the celebration, Pastor Solomon T.B. Harmon, president of the Accra City Conference, commended Awoshi congregation for its steadfastness and growth over the years. However, he reminded members that the true measure of the church's success lies in the commitment to evangelism.
The church must reflect on the mission that has been given to her. And I'm glad that after I finished my sermon, it was whispered in my ears that for this anniversary celebration, this church has won 24 souls. And I think that is good. I wish they would have made it 30 to celebrate the anniversary, but they are not going to rest on their oars. We expect them to do more because I have also told them that soul winning is one of the things that we should be doing. We have not done enough. And so if we have stayed here 30 years and the church building is not full and we have not opened many churches, then we have a long way to go. So they must understand that they have to train every member, every family to go out there and win more souls because this is our core business.
Amen. As the Awoshi Seventh-day Adventist Church celebrates 3 decades of ministry, both leaders and members reaffirmed their dedication to the mission entrusted to them to proclaim the everlasting gospel and prepare souls for the soon return of Christ. A report by Gordon Desmond Sakite, Accra. Naina features stories in a remarkable blend of faith, talent, and purpose. Joyce Nanaya Asamoah Mensah, a devoted member of the Achimota Seventh-day Adventist Church of the Achimota District, has brought global attention to social issues through the powerful role that he played in the movie Libo. The film, written and directed by Nana Opoku Ajiman, is an advocacy piece of child trafficking and kidnapping, theme that echoes the heartbreaking reality of the 3 Takoradi girls whose disappearance shocked Ghana years ago. The production sheds light on the anguish of affected families whilst urging society to take strong action against such evils. Joy's compelling performance not only captured the hearts of audience but also earned her international acclaim with over 18 invitations to prestigious film festivals across the world. Her role in the Libo led to her being crowned as Best Actress at the African USA France International Film Festival in Cannes, France. The film's success did not stop there. It received 8 additional awards at various film festivals, including Best Movie and Best Director at the GPX Film Festival in Texas, USA. Let's go for a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Hope Adventist News. Still in our featured stories, Alvaro and Natalie never planned to leave Chile, but when God called, they said yes. On a remote Easter island, they faced challenges, but saw lives being transformed as to a church growing. Their story shows how saying yes to God can change everything.
Washington's life began at a school his father helped build, and he's been part of its mission ever since. He was born on the campus of Northeast Brazil Academy in 1959. He took his first steps there, played his first games there, and said his first prayers there. For Washington, the school wasn't just a place to learn. It was home. His father was one of the founders of the school in 1943 and among its first graduates. Washington studied, graduated, and eventually built a successful life with his family in the city of Recife. When his son Igor was born, Washington knew the school would be a place where his son could grow in faith. But that dream nearly washed away. In 2000, a flood destroyed Northeast Brazil Academy. Washington was devastated, but he never lost faith. he believed Adventist education would return.
I felt bitter because it was a place where I was born, a place where I received my first education, right? And the school had a motto, educate for eternity. And seeing that rain, that flood, wiping everything out, it hurt in the bottom of my heart a lot.
Years later, he heard the news. God was opening a new door. A new school would be built. Washington knew he had to be part of it, even if it meant leaving behind everything he had built in the city more than an hour from the school. He prayed for a job transfer. His supervisor offered a position in another state, but Washington refused and told the supervisor that he wanted to be near the new Adventist school. His supervisor agreed to his preferred location, and Washington took that as a sign to go. He sold 2 houses and donated the money to the school. He paid tuition for students who couldn't afford it. He even gave away his own home to the school's first principal. He was fully committed to the mission. In 2014, the new Adventist Academy opened, and the first student to walk through the doors, Igor.
The first day of school was fantastic. I didn't go to work. I was there from the beginning. I took photos. I filmed.
I can have the opportunity to say that I've been an Adventist since I was born. And I was the first to be baptized here when the school was formed. And I think it's always been very good for me. It's always shaped my character and the way I think.
Washington's prayers had come full circle. His son was now part of the school that meant so much to him. Today, Washington is retired, but his heart is still with the school. There's just one thing missing: a church. Right now, students worship in an auditorium that isn't sufficient for their needs, and they need a dedicated space.
The creation of this new church will boost the mission school and the creation of new missionaries for world mission.
Your 13th Sabbath offering will help build that church, giving students a place to worship for generations to come. Thank you for your support. Jenny came with a suitcase, a 1-year plan, and a heart ready to serve. But when Jenny said yes to God's call, He opened doors she never imagined.
I've been really interested in missions since I was a kid. When I was in college, I said one of the things that's on my to-do list is to do a year in mission.
Fresh out of Andrews University in the United States, Jenny volunteered to teach English in Chile. 1 year quickly became 2, then 3. She learned Spanish, found a new purpose, and eventually, a new home. She served in several roles, including as the Adventist Volunteer Service Director for her region. Along the way, she even met and married a Chilean, who also served as an Adventist volunteer. Then a new invitation presented itself, this time to teach Bible classes at Chile Adventist University. For Jenny, it was more than a job. It was a calling fulfilled.
We had already been considering coming to the university so that my husband could start studying. And right about when we were thinking of making that move, we got the call. So we knew that had to be God's will.
Today, she helps hundreds of students, mostly from non-Adventist homes, discover the Bible and meet Jesus.
A lot of the students that are in our Bible classes are starting from absolutely zero. And so it's very mission-minded in itself. Many do Bible studies here. Many become interested through the Bible classes in baptism, and some have even been baptized because of the classes.
Through Jenny's teaching and example, she's inspiring a new generation to make mission a priority in their own lives. Your 13th Sabbath offering this quarter will support Chile Adventist University by helping to expand dormitories and build a new missionary training center to prepare more students to say, "I will go wherever God leads." Because sometimes a year of mission can become a lifetime of impact.
Now ending the story, from Brazil to Chile, see how faith, education and mission are transforming lives and how your 13th Sabbath offering helps keep that mission alive.
Alvaro and Natalia were settled in Chile with their 3-year-old daughter, Catalina. He worked as a dentist for the Seventh-day Adventist Church. She was a physical therapist at Chile Adventist University. With great careers and a happy marriage, they had no plans to leave. Then one Sabbath, during a church service at the university, they heard a sermon about Adventist volunteer service. Could God really use a family like us? They wondered.
We felt like the Lord was truly speaking only to us. We looked at each other at that moment and knew what was going to happen. We knew we had to say yes.
They applied, and just 2 weeks later, landed on Easter Island, one of the most remote places on Earth. Food was scarce. Language barriers made life harder. Locals were wary of mainlanders, and the island's Adventist church? Just 10 elderly members.
When we arrived, we said, "Did we do the right thing?" Because we were used to having our own house, getting around by car, and when we arrived, they assigned us a house. We bought bicycles. We were riding bicycles. So everything was very different.
But Alvaro and Natalia didn't give up. They visited homes, gave Bible studies, and reopened the Pathfinder and Adventurer clubs. Kids came, first 25, then 95. Families followed. One child and his mother were baptized. By the end of the year, when they were ready to return to the mainland, the church was thriving, with trained local leaders ready to carry the mission forward.
We came back as different people, which is a bit of a strange feeling, because in this case, we returned home to the same place, with the same jobs, but we are definitely not the same.
They hadn't planned to be missionaries, but God had a plan, and it changed them and Easter Island forever.
There are difficult moments. Yes, there are. Sometimes we cry, but we also laugh. When we leave things in the Lord's hands and let Him truly guide us, the Lord already goes forward, opening everything up, so we have to dare.
This quarter, the 13th Sabbath offering will help train and equip more missionaries at Chile Adventist University. People just like Alvaro and Natalia, who are ready to go wherever God calls. Your offering can open doors, change lives, and carry the gospel to the ends of the earth. Please give generously, because when you do, you're not just supporting a project, you're helping people say, "I will go."
So anytime you are contributing to the 13th Sabbath offering, know that you are doing it for a good cause. You are changing lives and touching hearts. So this is where we end the news, but before we go, a recap of our top stories. Miss Central Ghana Conference celebrates 10 years of God's grace and mission impact. Awoshi Seventh-day Adventist Church marks 30 years of God's faithfulness and soul-winning commitment. Our feature story, the most remote missionaries. Of course, dear one, hope is a powerful gift, one that can change lives forever. Through the Angels of Hope Club, countless and millions of hearts and homes are being touched by the gospel, bringing in light to those in need. Your support ensures that we keep up with the evangelistic program and uplifting content to continue to inspire, strengthen faith, and also share the love of Christ. Just join this life-changing mission today by just simply dialing *928 *32 *104# and follow the prompt to make your contribution. You can also send in your donation to our mobile money account, that's Hope Channel Momo account number 024919303, and God richly bless you. Know that every donation makes a difference. We can spread hope, transform lives, and also share God's love with the world. Now, Hope Adventist News and all other uplifting programs can be watched on our social media channels. Just follow us on YouTube at Hope Channel Ghana and on Facebook at Hope TV Ghana. You can also reach us through our WhatsApp line 0559680066 or our email at hopetvghana@gmail.com. Now, dear one, as Isaiah 40 verse 31 reminds us that, "But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount on with wings of eagle." May this promise inspire us to keep trusting in the Lord, standing firm in faith, and also passing on with a renewed strength, as well as carrying His message to the world. I am Nanakusia Chumberima, and this was Hope Adventist News. Kindly stay blessed and please stay safe out there.